All right. Well, Nikki and Dave, I started your ceremony off with reading Genesis chapter 2, verse 24, and I'll read it again. It says, "Therefore shall a man leave his father and his mother, and shall cleave unto his wife, and they shall be one flesh." I chose to start out your ceremony referencing this verse because it was at this time, shortly after God had created Eve from the rib of Adam, that God spoke these words and gave us the gift of marriage. And as we break this verse into three distinct parts, we get a clear depiction of marriage as God intended it. The first part, a man leaves his father and mother. Today, this ceremonious act marks the separation of you from the families that you've known and been part of since birth, and the joining of a new family as you profess your love for one another and make public in front of all these witnesses a legal covenant with each other and with God that shall last until death do you part. It is this covenant and commitment that you will rejoice in on days like today, on anniversaries, holidays, and births of your children. But it is also the covenant and commitment you will remember, lean on, and return to in challenging times of disappointment, in times of sickness, times of disagreement, and any other challenges life may bring your way. The second part of the verse reads, "Cleave unto his wife." Oftentimes this is translated, united or love his wife. But cleave is such a better representation of what is going to be required of both of you in your marriage. Love in the English language is so often misrepresented as an emotion. This romantic emotion that you fall into or you fall out of. But cleave is a verb defined as to adhere to firmly, closely, loyally, and unwaveringly. You see, you're called to make love a verb. Dave, you can thank me for that line later. See, the love that is called upon by you both starting today and going forward isn't about emotions and feelings. It's about a choice and commitment to unwaveringly cleave to one another for the rest of your lives. And third, the last is, "And they shall become one flesh." What is very important for both of you to understand and for all of us as witnesses to understand today is that after today, after you profess your love and enter into the covenant of marriage, you will both leave here as different people. You see, God did not intend for you to live alone or apart. In Genesis 2, verse 23, shortly after God created Eve from the rib of Adam, Adam wakes up from a nap, one rib short, and he looks at this beautiful creation before him. And he uses these poetic words to describe her: "Bone of my bone and flesh of my flesh." Adam says, "She's like me. She completes me." Dave and Nikki, you both walked into this ceremony single, connected through your relationship, and promised to someday marry, but separated. But you will leave today different. You will leave here connected, united as one flesh and one spirit. When one cries, the other will weep. When one screams with joy, the other will rejoice. When one falls sick, the other will nurture and care. And when one succeeds, the other will cheer and celebrate. It is from this day forward you will forever be changed and unified with each other. And so it is these three pillars. First, the covenant and commitment you're making today. Second, the cleaving to one another that your marriage will demand. And third, the union of flesh and spirit that will leave you different people, that your marriage will depend on for its success. But let us not act here today like this will be easy, that there won't be challenges, that you can do it all on your own, and that you will already have it all figured out. But fortunate for us, we have an example. We have a helper that is found in Jesus Christ. You see, the verse about marriage first given to us in Genesis chapter 2 is repeated in Ephesians by the Apostle Paul in Ephesians chapter 5. It says, "Therefore,